What is going on, my beautiful people? Today is October the 16th and it is roughly 4:51 p.m. I wish I was sitting in the stand right now, but I am having to work. So I'm working tonight. I work till I work a night shift. Working from home, which is nice. But this weekend is actually my bachelor trip. As you guys know, I'm getting married in October. Candace, she's made an appearance a time or two on the channel. And we are getting married in November, so I'm super excited about that. But this weekend I'm having my bachelor trip, and what better way to celebrate marriage and a bachelor trip than to go hunting with some buddies. So that's what we're doing. Me and some buddies of mine, we're all going to our hunting land down in South Georgia, and we are basically going to be killing some deer. There's some people there that haven't really hunted before but want to get into it, so we're going to get them set up on some does, hopefully harvest some does and do a meat processing weekend and send everybody home with some good deer meat. But that's our plan. So I'm going to see you guys tomorrow morning in the stand, and hopefully we'll be able to take out some deer. Just aim at the front shoulder, slowly squeeze. Just make sure there ain't a deer behind her.
So it's the one that's front to the right?
Yeah, a little off to the right. I'd say if she gets broadside again, give it your best shot. I just want to remind you guys, turn the volume down a little bit for the pew pew that's going to go off, because we are gun hunting, so just be prepared for that. Don't want to blow out your eardrums. Woo-wee! Man, he made a phenomenal shot. Dropped that deer right in its tracks. And the next part of really what happened, I didn't explain fully. So we let everything sit. The does kind of hang out in the field. Those other two that were with that doe that Peter harvested, they kind of hang out in the field for a little bit before they slowly make their way out. But after they slowly make their way out, I'm like, all right, it's still super early in the hunt. It's like 4:15, 4:30 at this point. And I tell Peter, hey, let's go get that deer. We're gonna drag it to underneath the stand, right at the edge of this stand, and we're gonna climb back up in the stand. It was plenty cool to keep the meat safe, and we had other people in the woods hunting, and we had already seen a spike chase a doe out of the field. It was early in the hunt. We were gonna see if we couldn't bag another doe and see what else came into the food plot. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the rest of the hunt. Hopefully that's some good footage. And he just run all of them out. That's exciting footage though. I knew they were gonna start pre-run. Oh shit. That's him back there in the back.
So there comes that toe back.
Yeah.
That's the younger of the two bigger ones, I think. The older one went off to the left.
Yeah.
He's just being an asshole.
Definitely not big enough shoot. That's the one that I got on camera that I said didn't have brow tines. We'll see how big he looks the closer he gets. But here, you can take a look at it. But see how narrow he is, like he's well within inside his ears.
Yeah, he is, you're right. That's only what, 6?
Probably. He probably has 2 little bitty brow tines. But him compared to what I know this place is capable of is not what I want to shoot. I wish I had a bigger lens. But that's as much as it's got. I'm glad we trucked that doe out.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he would have ran right over top of her.
There you go.
Yep. That's part of the reason I wanted to sit with you, just in case a deer like this came out. Because it would be really easy to shoot. So yeah, guys, I am finishing up editing this video, and I just watched the evening of the 17th hunt, and there's some things I needed to point out to you guys because I feel like I wasn't completely fair with what's going to be disclosed in the future. But me and Peter sat together again that evening in the same stand. I don't know if you heard both of our voices or not, but had an incredible hunt. I mean, we had deer in the field from the time we got into the stand until the time we got down. I'm going to play some clips coming up on the screen now of even a little spike that came into the field within the last little bit of light and ran the last couple does we had out. Another buddy of mine, Jordan, actually my sister's husband, he ended up getting a doe across the field, and so I'm going to play a little bit of a cringe-worthy photo session we took where I just videoed us taking pictures, essentially. So I'll throw a little bit of clip in there. Jordan is the guy on the left. My dad is behind him. I'm on the trailer, of course, and then Peter is to my left in the photo, so you're right on the screen, just so you can put a name to a face. Most of them didn't really feel comfortable being on camera or anything like that, so you're gonna get basically a picture of them. But Peter made a great shot. We ended up seeing a little 8-pointer rutting around, and this is the second time at this point that Peter's ever been in a deer stand. And the whole time we're watching this buck, I'm like, it's not really a shooter. Here's the reasons why. You know, it's a young deer. You can tell by its belly. The rack isn't fully there. This, that, and the other. So I'm really marinating Peter into the aspect of deer management and letting young deer walk to a certain extent, because a couple weekends from this video, this exact hunt, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you want to stick tuned to the end of this video and subscribe to the channel. That way you do not miss the hunts upcoming, and you'll get a little bit of a sneak peek. But we did break my personal best, kind of in a way thanks to Peter. But for the rest of the night, we ended up going and getting the 2 deer that you see on the trailer. I didn't really film the recovery process or anything like that, just out of common courtesy to the guys that were down there with me. And then the next morning, we went hunting. And because I had sat with Peter for 2 hunts now, I wanted to go sit by myself. We were all going to try to get does that next morning. And we didn't end up seeing any does. I didn't see any deer whatsoever, but Peter ended up seeing a deer. So I'm going to play some footage from my hunt that morning, and then we're going to get back together and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the deer Peter saw. Sunday morning at roughly 8 a.m. We haven't had too much success so far this morning. I'm sitting by myself. Peter, who I've been sitting with this past weekend, sitting by himself now. And the last guy that's down here for my bachelor party is sitting by himself as well. So far, I don't think anybody's seen anything. We were going to try to kill another doe, maybe two this morning. I was going to try to get one myself. That way we could just have a little more to grind up and send home with everybody. But I sat with Peter yesterday morning. We ended up seeing 4 different deer, a spike that I got on camera, and 3 does right at daylight, really before shooting light. And the same thing with Jordan. He said that he saw a couple does right at shooting light but could never get a shot. And then yesterday afternoon, we all saw deer. Jordan said he had 7 in the field when he shot his doe. And then, of course, you guys saw what me and Peter saw. We had bucks rutting, or at least starting to. It was mostly young bucks. But that's why I came to the field I came to today. I was hoping that with us shooting and everything yesterday, it would scare these deer this way. But I really don't think the deer were too fazed by us shooting. But nothing to do now but sit for another hour, hour and a half. Hope something comes in, and hopefully we'll be able to get one myself on this bachelor trip. I was more worried about getting them something. I have more opportunities to come hunt than they do. But congratulations, Peter, on killing your first deer. That was exciting, and it was fun for me to be able to take him hunting, help introduce him into something that I love to do, and get him on his first deer. And it was a heck of a first couple of sits for him. And congratulations, Jordan. I know that's the first deer you've shot in a couple years, so I was glad to be able to help you out there as well. Hope you guys enjoy the meet, and hope you guys will get back in the woods and keep on hunting. Thanks for coming and spending this weekend with me. It really does mean a lot. About an hour after that last little bit of footage you just saw, we ended up getting down. Peter was probably 100, 150 yards from me through the woods to the food plot where Peter was sitting in. And he ended up saying that he saw a buck at about 7:50, 8 o'clock from his recollection. The stand he was sitting in, he said it came out in front of him and was in the field maybe 10, 12 seconds. It walked straight across the field. And all he said was it was an 8-pointer that wasn't big enough to shoot. The next time we went to Sandersville was actually the weekend of Halloween. So keep in mind, October 18th, Peter saw this deer, and October 31st was the next weekend, or October 30th was the next weekend that we were able to go down there to hunt. I pulled that trail camera card on October 30th, and that's where I'm going to leave this video, guys. I'm going to leave the picture of the deer that I saw on October 30th when I pulled the trail camera from the timestamp that Peter was in the woods. Before I show you exactly what was on the trail camera from the buck that Peter saw, let us jump into the verse of the week. And the verse of the week is actually on the board back behind me. The Lord will protect you from all evil. He will keep your soul. And that is Psalms 121:7. So just keep that in mind as you go throughout the week, guys, that yes, you may have troubles in your life, you may be injured, you may have all of these things going wrong in your life, but God is keeping you safe because He has saved your soul as long as you have accepted Him as your Lord and Savior. And with God, all things are possible. I know you may not see it, but the Bible says, trust not in your own understanding, but in His understanding. So hope you guys enjoy that, and let us go ahead and we will bring up the picture of the buck that Peter saw on October the 18th. So yeah, guys, that is going to be all about the next video, or a video soon to come on the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and always remember, when nature calls or God calls, you better answer. Peace out.